Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4.
Welcome to Tales from the Field. My name is Bradley Ball, and it is so good to have you with us. It is Thanksgiving in the United States of America, and we are off enjoying the holiday with our friends. However, last week, I was at Live 360, and I sat down with Davide Mauri from the Azure SQL Product Group. This is going to be his interview, and we're going to share it with you momentarily. If this is your first time making it over to Tales in the Field, don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. We have new live shows coming out every Tuesday and Thursday, typically streamed right here, also on our Twitter account and on our LinkedIn account. So find us wherever your favorite streaming location is. And now, off to the interview with Davide.
It's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Davide Mauri. Davide is a principal program manager with the Azure SQL Database team, and we're going to talk about some of these great announcements. Right now, it is Wednesday, the 16th of November, but by the time you're watching this, we're going to be past this date when these things have been made public. You've got a lot of great announcements that you've made for developers.
That's right.
A lot of wonderful content that is dropping. This is a big week for Microsoft.
It is.
Tell me what's going on with you and with Azure SQL Database.
Yeah, so we are focusing quite a lot on developers now and in future. We're always focused on BI and DBA. We just want to focus a little bit more now on developers because they're becoming like a core part of our society, given that we run on software, right?
Well, it's funny. I started out as a developer, and I became a DBA, and there's always been this war and this battle between developers and DBAs. And whatever, I always joke with DBAs, and I tell them, that your favorite people that make your favorite product are a bunch of developers sitting up in Redmond. So it's like there's got to be more peace. Yeah,
I feel like I'm holding to one end developers, the other DBAs, and I'm trying to make them friend.
World peace,
but it's,
right?
It's a tough process. But I think we are in the right direction right now because we just released Friday the Azure SQL binding for Azure Functions, where basically you can monitor a table, and as soon as there is a change in the table, you can fire off an Azure function. So that's enabled quite a lot of interesting scenarios, right?
Oh, and that's huge because you can use Azure Functions to be able to kick off pipelines and ADF.
Exactly.
You could use them to be able to have a process that would occur. You could export data. You could import.
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, basically. There's so much capabilities there.
And so, in the other side of this coin is that today we just so today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, yes. It's the 16th, and we just released the storage procedure called SP invoke external REST endpoint. So even if you don't have any change, let's say you are posting something to the database and you run a storage procedure, and as part of the storage procedure you want to execute something that is reachable by a REST endpoint, you can. It can be an Azure function. SP invoke external REST endpoint. So it's
invoke
a new system.
Internal.
SP invoke external REST endpoint.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the name is a little bit longer, but we try to follow the established naming convention. You know that we have SP invokes, execute external scripts.
Yes.
So we try to get along with that.
Oh, no, actually, there's got to be a good naming convention for it. Well, and what I'll do is I'll actually add the text to the video, so that way everybody playing at home, it's already on the screen. I should probably point here or somewhere else. Anyway, I've got it there for you.
And so with that, you can definitely call an Azure function, which is great, as you mentioned, but you can also call, for example, an event hub. So you can send a message to event hub. You can execute a DAX query from Power BI because Power BI now has an execute queries REST endpoint.
Yeah.
You can call cognitive services so that when you receive data in your database, maybe you can call a cognitive services that does anomaly detection and tells you if any of the data you received is anomalous or not, just in one call from your database. which simplifies life a
anomalous,
lot.
but for streaming data, maybe if you want to collect sentiment analysis for
Oh,
something,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
invoke cognitive
Yes.
services, score that data,
Yes.
and get that scored data back as well.
So it simplifies a lot what you would have normally done before, but just with much more effort and code. So I think this would be a great feature for developers. I'm seeing the tweet right now, and it seems people are appreciating it a lot.
Yeah,
so.
super excited. Well, and it reminds me of a conversation I had years ago with someone who worked at a hospital, and they needed a capability to be able to send notifications.
Yeah, exactly.
So that when a record entered a table, they could have something that flagged in their API that said these emergency rooms are not open. So if there was like a mass event that had happened, they could look at the hospital and they could say, the second that this operating room goes into use, that we know what's taken out of circulation. This gives the capability that as those records are put in place, you can give an immediate status. And I think, that's one example, but there's so many places you can use this.
And this is becoming very common, this event-driven or reactive programming style. So you don't have to poll, you don't have to continuously check for something, but just create your architecture, typically done with microservices, so that if something happens somewhere, you notify that that event has happened, and then each other services can decide what to do with that information. Maybe nothing, maybe they start a process. So that's very interesting.
When people often ask me, they'll say, we don't have an agent for an Azure SQL database.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest things that I tell them, though, is actually we do. It's called Data Factory or Snaps pipelines. Because you can schedule, you can set it something based off a time zone, you can execute a stored procedure, you can execute a T-SQL script. And so you have every single bit of that functionality there.
It's just scattered around,
Absolutely, but it's so interesting because you could, using the stored procedure, you could check for data, or you could have something that occurs that then fires off a portion of a process.
Absolutely. That's the idea. Before you put, you were able to put data in database, and to basically read it out, you had or to have a scheduled process or something. Here we're starting to change and go to a more like reactive approach, where you put data into database and database can react to that, right? And that will enable quite a lot of interesting scenarios.
Yeah, I love that. That is
yeah, this is interesting. I love it too.
So you're an incredibly busy guy, and you have a pre-con and you also have presentations.
No, this week I had the full stack workshop. It's basically from zero to hero to become a full stack developer. It's a really packed day because there's a lot to cover, right?
Well, I remember you had a packed room. I went in and grabbed a picture of that. And,
it was pretty full.
I grabbed a head count from Marissa.
I think we had like 80 people, which is great.
It was fantastic.
And basically the workshop goes from literally zero. I start using static web apps in Azure Functions with our database, and then we deploy it, establish a CI/CD pipeline, and then we do everything offline, of course, right? Because then we do everything offline, then we basically commit, the CI/CD pipeline starts, and then we start to add feature, like now I want to add database, now I want to add authentication, and now what about caching and resiliency and this and that. That's very nice. Everything is on GitHub already, so actually this workshop,
I love
the
that.
code is free.
Do you have an aka.ms for the...
I think I have. I will send it to you so you can show
and
it.
I will, wherever we popped up the text before. The text is magically popping up with that aka.ms link that will take you
directly. I don't remember my memory.
No, I'm with you. I've got an aka.ms for our pre-con. That's one of the things I don't know that people fully realize, but when we work on building this content, our goal is not that we are the only ones that get to present on it. We want people to access this content, to be able to use this content. Fork the repo, give this to the people that you work with, run a course internally, give us feedback on it, what works, what doesn't, file some issues. But it's a lot of effort that we put in, hoping to shortcut that learning process for other people.
And talking about shortcuts, I also have created an awesome list. You know that in GitHub there is this thing going on, it's called awesome list, where basically you create a repository where you don't put code, but you put a list of things that are awesome for a specific technology or a specific topic. So I created one for Azure SQL. So you have the awesome SQL that I shared with you, so you can also put it in the video. And of course there are all the samples I found interesting, the tools, the articles, the videos. Of course now I'll also put your subscription to your channel too. But that's something I will share with you because I think it's too useful.
Absolutely. So next up, you're at the Azure Data and AI conference in Las Vegas.
In December, right, on the 5th of December, yeah, correct. And I will do the same workshop here, so you can still register if you want. It's a full day packed. I think this is the workshop I have created because I would have loved to attend to it if that workshop would have been available when I needed it. Because it's so much.
It's interesting how those things kind of inspire you. You do all this work, you build this stuff, and then you go, I would have loved it if there would have been a shortcut process for me to learn it. And that inspires us to go, now let's teach other people.
Exactly, because I spent, I don't know how many years to learn all that stuff. And I don't know how new people like out of university today can learn all of that, because the expectation is that they just know it. And so giving kind of a quick way to ramp up, to understand where the things are, what are the right technologies to use. Because one of the problem I think, or the challenge people have today is that I guess when we started, it's more like, okay, you need to learn ASP Classic or SQL Server 2000, and you need to learn it very well. Now it's more like, oh, you have to 15 different database kind, and it is 16 different kind of front end, and 30 type of backends. What you choose, and the problem is how to choose it, right? So the goal for this workshop is give you like a kickstart, so you can get started on a right direction, and then you can always then choose something different in the future, but at least you have the mental model to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and there's so many wonderful data sets out there. One of the things that drove us, Josh and I have given this session over and over again at places where it's an build your own data science playground, from collecting the data, ingesting it, moving it through Synapse, all the way over to Power BI. And I couldn't deal with a fake data set one more time. And so we went out, and there's this great place, retrosheets.org.
Okay.
And they have every event for every game of baseball from 1921 until like at the end of the season, they add all the modern files as well. So up to 2022 right now.
And I'm not super expert in baseball, but I know they collect a lot of data, a lot of statistics, right? Which is perfect for what you do.
Absolutely. And you can explode that out. You can make it really big. You can get attendance number. You can get geoposition for
that's cool.
And then you can pull in weather data, because we can get weather data associated with games and go,
see if there is any correlation.
Absolutely. Humidity, dry, different temperatures, how teams perform. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I make a Power BI report off of it, basically, so we can figure out the best day of the week to see your favorite team play.
It's cool. Makes sense.
And so it's a lot of fun. And then we got into movie data. And one of the things I did for a long time was I collected Twitter sentiment, and then I would correlate that to box office performance. And I found just these amazing trends. Positive sentiment doesn't matter whatsoever. Because if you think about it, if somebody thinks a movie's going to be terrible, they don't bother to go see the movie and then hop on Twitter.
They don't tweet. That makes sense.
But negative sentiment is probably your biggest indicator of future performance of the movie, chain and series. So the people who went and saw it, if they're unhappy with it,
that's amazing.
But overall volume, that begins to show you that the interest was there. And if there's volume of tweets, that indicates that there's going to be a high box office performance.
That's cool. It's amazing how many things can do right now in I would say a relatively easy way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, and we collected that data using a logic app. Sentiment analysis to score it via cognitive services, throw it into an Azure SQL database.
Perfect.
And then we've got it right there to have a Power BI to report against it as a live source. It's great stuff.
That's amazing what you can do right now. Absolutely.
Well, hey, Davide, thank you so much for joining us.
It was very nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us. And I guess
see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.